Welcome into the newest episode of Side Mission. Like always, I'm your host, Rusty Ellis, today joined by just one of the boys, Thacker, but we have a special guest today because me and Thacker both suck ass at Madden, and we definitely weren't going to put the time in or put enough time in to adequately review this game. We decided to bring in an expert, so I've got today with us my boss, although I'd like to believe that we're a little bit closer to being friends each day. I could be wrong, he probably hates me. Noah McKay. Noah, I'm glad that you're here with us, mainly because you're about to carry the hell out of this episode. I'm not going to lie.
Well, thanks for having me on, first of all. Second of all, we're definitely not friends.
Wow. I feel hoed.
I kid. I'm happy to be here.
Friends? Noah, can
Sure.
we be friends? All right, cool.
All right, this is the end of the episode right here. Follow us on Twitter. Okay, no. But we're talking about Madden 20. I don't even fucking know what year it is at this point. Madden 23, I think it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Madden
Okay,
23.
so Madden 23, the newest release from EA, everyone's favorite video game developer. So, Noah, you being the guest, I want to start with you. So, before we get into the full game, what was your first Madden ever?
Madden 2005. So
Okay.
I was 6 years old. We didn't grow up with video games from when I was a little kid, but my mom bought my dad a PlayStation in 2005 Christmas, or I guess this is Christmas 2004.
Yeah.
And she bought him Madden, but on the Xbox, even though she bought him a GameCube. So it's the Ray Lewis cover Madden. So she had to go back and get it changed. She said the person, I guess it was at EB Games at the time, said that you could play on both.
That's
We got back. So it was Madden 2005 on the GameCube. I have since played Madden every year from its release, and also had gone back to play, the NFL 2Ks and Madden previous to 2005. But I've been playing every year, pretty much all year since Madden 2005 on the GameCube.
I don't know what the bigger throwback was there. The Madden 2005 with Ray Lewis on the cover, or the fact that GameStop at that point was EB Games. Like, I don't know what the bigger throwback was there.
You also missed the fact that he said GameCube.
Yeah, GameCube as well. Like, there were a lot of throwbacks there.
Big throwbacks there.
Yeah, it was fun. And she bought, the original game she bought was just the Xbox. Not Xbox anything else, just Xbox. So we're throwing it way back.
Old school brick.
Exactly.
So, talking more about Madden 23, Thacker, I think me and you have talked a little bit about this kind of, again, before we get into the actual game itself. There was an interesting conversation that, I want to say interesting, it's really stupid as hell, but we're going to make it as interesting as we can. There was a very, very loud minority of people, whether it was on Twitter, on YouTube, on any form of social media, that had a problem with John Madden being on the cover. Obviously, John Madden passed away relatively recently. There were people that had issue with him being on the cover, saying it was exploiting his image, this, that, the other. Noah, I want to know, and I'll get your opinion on it too, Thacker. Do you think that's as stupid as I think it is, or do you think there's actually smoke? There's smoke to that fire?
No, those people are stupid.
Okay, good.
Everybody I know that plays Madden like I do, which is all the time essentially, if it had been anybody other than John Madden on the cover of this game, it would have been a big, big problem. It was blatantly obvious he should have been on the cover. People who are mad about that are stupid. The game they love does not exist without John Madden, and the only way you really could memorialize him properly was to put him on the cover. So I'll be honest with you, I've seen very little of that, and but that's just so stupid to me. That's moronic.
When I say loud minority, I mean it's a very, very small people. It's just like, I'm talking like the Angry Joes of YouTube. Like, it's somebody that's mad.
People are stupid.
Yeah, that's mad at Madden every year, no matter what happens, how it's released. Thacker, I'm pretty sure you were on the same page with me as well on that, right?
Honestly, look, it's no secret at this point. I work for GameStop, and it's one of those. I had people come in and actually get not just one version of the game, but two versions of it just because John Madden was on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, we had two different case covers. If you look, current gen systems being the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One has one version of John Madden on it, and the next gen systems being the Series and the 5, both of those have a different cover on it as well. I had people coming in getting both versions just so they had it as a collector's piece. I was like, why are you getting both versions? For one, they would, and I'm not talking like they would get like a PlayStation 4 and a PlayStation 5 version. I mean, like some of them came in and got like the Xbox One version and the PlayStation 5 version. I'm like, why would you get both? And I've had some people tell me, well, I don't have an Xbox, but I play on PlayStation. I'm getting the Xbox One because it's John Madden as a memorial to him.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Personally, I haven't played a Madden game since, and Noah's probably about to ridicule me for this one, since Madden 15.
Yeah.
You saved yourself a lot of heartache. Don't worry about it. You're good.
Partially of that is because I'm not a big sports guy.
Yeah.
I wanted to actually hop on to Madden 23 even before anything really was announced on cover of it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to actually try Madden 23. I have the system for it now. Let me actually give it a chance. Mm-hmm. And then I found out John Madden was on it, and I was like, okay, cool. Gives me more reason to actually get it.
Yeah. I don't know. I always felt like it was more like honoring his memory than it was exploiting it. I never, because again, without John Madden, the game doesn't exist. And I don't know. I never saw that argument. That to me sounded like misplaced anger at EA, which I mean EA has done a lot in the past with several different properties to warrant that kind of ire, but I mean, in this circumstance, no, it seemed wacky to me that anybody could get mad at EA for wanting to put John Madden on the cover.
Like, honestly, just keep in mind, this game could have easily just been called, instead of Madden, it could have been called Montana NFL, because it got offered to Joe Montana first.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, and it would be here's the deal, vastly different there too.
People, I think, forget, especially now that it's just kind of every year it's a new game. Madden has become the game as opposed to John Madden, the coach. And so it's kind of, there's some people out there who I think don't realize kind of the origins of this game, and that for the first several years it was just John Madden on the cover, and he was the voice of the game. And he was kind of, Tony Romo today, the kind of lead guy people love as a color commentator in NFL. That was John Madden. So, for all the flaws, and I'm sure we'll talk some about the the ins and outs of the game, this is still the cream. It's the premier sports game in the world, and that does not happen with, well, I know the FIFA people will go crazy when I say that, but in America, it's the premier sports game, and that doesn't happen without John Madden. So people kind of, it's Madden. Well, that's because of the person John Madden. So, but I that's one of those things where I just roll my eyes and I'm like, okay, you're just looking for a reason to be mad if you're mad that he's on the cover when he should have been.
Well, I think that there's a decent amount of logic in your thing about Madden being the most popular sports game. I say that as a big 2K guy, and I love NBA 2K. I buy it every year. I literally own every 2K except 2K4 and 2K5. I'm working on finding them, but I literally own every other one. And I would 100% say that Madden is the bigger game at this point than 2K, because 2K didn't originate from one person. It didn't originate from a single player, even though you could make an argument Allen Iverson's on the cover of like the first 3 or 4 of them. But
I'll put it this way.
It wasn't created for Allen Iverson. John Madden was a huge part in Madden being created to begin with.
Yeah, now I'm biased. I like 2K. I play 2K pretty much every year, but I'm a Madden guy. Everyone knows it. But my mother knows if I say Madden what I'm talking about. If I go up to her and say 2K, she's not going to
know, because there's so many things that could mean.
Right. You say Madden, though, everyone associates that with, oh, that's the football game.
Yeah.
And here's the scary part. Like, Rusty, for his birthday, asked for every 2K game that has came out so far. And when we made the Cookville trip, of course, I brought him like 5 or 6 of the games, and we went to a couple local stores and found a couple of the other ones, and he finished the collection off through Amazon.
Almost.
I'm scared. Rusty, let me make this clear. I'm scared that you're going to ask us that the next thing that you want for either birthday, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you want, that it's going to be Madden. And those are a lot of games that we're going to have to go back through all the way to like NES style days.
I wouldn't ask for any. The only ones I would ask for is if there was a Tennessee Titan on the cover, and I've already got the one on the PS2 that had Vince Young on the cover, so I'm not really worried about that. Like, I'm not looking to collect Madden like that. But we've done about 10 minutes of talking now. We haven't actually gotten into the game, so let's talk about Madden 23. And to be honest, I want to say good things about this game. I want to. because as a sports fan, I would love, as a sports fan and a gamer, and I don't put one of those above the other. I'm as equally rabid about both of them. I like to believe that we live in a world where, Madden isn't a cash grab every year. And I'm not saying that it is at this point in time, but it sometimes feels that way when you pay $70. Now $70 used to be $60, and even then that was a lot of money for what is essentially a roster update with, slightly updated graphics. The engine might run a little bit better. Resolution might look a little bit better, but ultimately you're kind of getting the same package every year with regards to, you can do quick play, you can do face of the franchise, you can do Madden Ultimate Team. You're kind of getting those same offerings every year. Last year, I think, and Noah, correct me if I'm wrong, last year was when they introduced the Yard, right? Or was that a few years
ago?
Yes,
the Yard and Superstar KO came out last year.
So they did with Madden 22, they did introduce a couple new modes, which was nice. I don't believe, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe they introduced anything new this year, but I kind of have the same feeling with Madden each year as I've played it and what I've played of it, that I want to say that it's better, but as I get into playing it more and more and I dig a little bit deeper into it, it does kind of devolve into feeling like the same exact game as the previous year. Now, that's not always a bad thing, because I could say the same thing about 2K. 2K has felt the exact damn same for the last 3 years, and I wish that it would feel a little bit different. But Noah, you're the expert, and you've put the most time in on this game. And this is your big game every year. Me and Thacker and Kyle and Matt, we get on here, we talk about the games we're looking forward to. Madden is like your big game every year. You'll play it all the way until the next one comes out. So, right. What are kind of your thoughts on this one?
Real quick, just in defense, because I will say things not so nice about Madden and about Electronic Arts. To be fair, with regards to people want new game modes, and I thought the Yard was pretty cool. I played a little bit. Yeah. When you're in a sports game, there's only so many things you can do, right?
It's hard to innovate.
You're trying to be the realistic simulation game. You play franchise mode. You got the kind of fantasy with the Ultimate Team. You've got playing people online. There's only so many places you can go as opposed to a shooter game or various things like that. So just to the one caveat when it comes to the big game modes. Now, within those modes, they could do a lot better. There's no doubt about it. It's a Madden game, right? Yeah. It's another year of Madden. They put out all these new features, quote unquote, and then I'm with you. You play it for a little while, and it gets back into just being a Madden game. The problem I have just kind of on its face with Madden right now, and it's been the way for a very long time. And Madden will always be this way until they completely overhaul the engine that the game is played on, because it is a animation-based game when it should be a physics-based game. I believe it to my core. So there are 18 million animations in Madden, but if you can get the right animation, you can get the results you want. And I say that as a master of getting the right animation that I want so that I can beat nearly everybody at Madden. It's not a physics-based game. So unlike MLB The Show, where you hit a ball here in the strike zone with this kind of swing, this is the reaction that happens in real life when a baseball is hit this way. Or in football, this is what happens when you set your feet and deliver a ball this way, or you're hit from this angle, this is how you fall. We've pre-programmed the game to where you're 1 in 10,000 odds of this animation hitting, and it really sometimes feels like this 1 in 10 odds of this animation hit. That's what's going to happen, no matter if it looks weird, no matter if it looks glitchy, no matter if it leads to a one-play touchdown. So as long as Madden is based on these animations, and they added a crap ton of animations this year, but as long as it's based on those animations, it's always going to feel like the same game year over year. And unless you're just a junkie like I am that loves football and enjoys, connected franchise mode and Ultimate Team, it's going to get old and boring, and you're going to say it feels like the same game. So, we could talk about some of the features and things in the game, but just overall, I've enjoyed playing the game. The things that frustrate me about the game are the same things that have frustrated me about the game since 2016 when they did do a big overhaul of the engine and of the game. And that's just kind of is what it is. I lie in the middle. I enjoy playing it. I'll play it. I don't hate it, but it's
Yeah.
not going to be remembered, I think, long term as the best sports video game of all time.
And I think that's fair. I think that there is something to be said that with sports games, you can only innovate so far. You can only go so far to change the game. I think that if you wanted a basketball equivalent of that, I think that any time, whether it be 2K or NBA Live, I feel like any time where they added, a 2-on-2 or a 3-on-3 mode where you'd play at like Venice Beach or at Rucker Park,
Right.
I feel like that was, that's something that's missing from the current games now that, to me, you add that in, that's just an extra option of something you can do that's not just, playing a quick game, playing someone online. Thacker, talk about kind of your experience, because the difference here, and there's a drastic difference, obviously. Noah is very hardcore. I would call both of us casual. What's kind of your take on all of this game, and what have you liked, or has there been anything that stuck out to you about Madden 23 that you liked?
Honestly, coming again, like I said, coming from somebody who hasn't played a Madden game since 15, and hearing how bad 22 did, and how the controls were more left up to, especially from passing, how it felt more like there was, once you threw the ball, it was all up to the computer and how the computer reacted, to now having the field sense we do now to actually be able to place the throws exactly where we want them. Mm-hmm. That was one thing that really stuck out huge for me as a positive side. I like when a game steps out of that like comfort zone that they're used to doing and gives a player more freedoms to it. So if for whatever reason you're about to get sacked and you don't have somebody open, then I like being able to just pick a spot and throw the ball out of bounds instead of having to risk taking that loss in fields. So probably the field sense is the one thing positively that stuck out to me the most. It was one that, again, as we have clearly acknowledged, and you guys who are listening have clearly seen, Noah is the expert out of the three of us on Madden.
Facts.
I won't try to deny that. I won't try to take that from him. In fact, I will praise him for it all day, because the fact
it's not a positive trait that I love about this much about this video game. It's really a negative trait. But thank you.
The fact that you know so much that makes it so much more memorable for you, and that's the biggest thing as gamers. We love to have those games that really stick out to us. Mm-hmm. With Madden being one of the top 3 most evergreen games, for you to have that as your number one game that to always go through with and have all those memories with, that's amazing. And it's why you're the expert on it. And it's why, like, if I'm saying something stupid, I know you're probably going to correct me on it real quick. And I'm okay with that, because, again, the game is one that Madden has always been an evergreen game. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we sold out of 22 way too quick and couldn't bounce back from it. We lost so many sales to Walmart, Target, Best Buy, like little places. And I call them little places compared to us, but to little places that we shouldn't have been losing them to this year. We went over what we should have gotten for it.
What, as far as stock, or
just like stock in stores?
Okay.
That way we can actually be prepared for it, because it is an evergreen game that we sell all the time.
Yeah.
I got a field sense point that's important that I think, if we're talking about Madden, it's very interesting. You talked about the field sense, and this is, I love the fact that they quote unquote put field sense in the game, because I don't say this derogatory at all, for guys like you who are more casual players of the game, who EA really bring in to make Madden successful. Field sense is great. Field sense is also one of the biggest pieces of BS that Electronic Arts has ever released to the public ever. Because
I think we talked about this.
I want to know why.
Sans one thing, field sense has been in the game for 15 years. So the new feature is the bonus of being able to hold L2 and bring something out of the catch radius. the quote unquote catch radius, right? That extra. So you know, for maybe those who haven't played the game, if I'm trying to throw to circle, I hit circle, I can control my power, and then I can move the reticle around in a circle or kind of oval shape to pinpoint where I want the pass to go, and then I can hold down L2 and move it outside of that oval. That oval is supposedly the receiver's catch radius. So you could always do that, but they didn't make it visual. So for years, I've been pinpointing passes back shoulder, over the head, short of receivers and things like that, because it was a feature in the game that they just didn't talk about. You could find it kind of if you search the instruction manual, but you could pinpoint where your passes were going. Now, the L2 feature of moving it outside the radius, that's replaced high and low passes with that stick where you could throw it high, you could throw it low easier. It's a little harder to get to that now. But the quote-unquote field sense, kind of the main hub of that, of being able to, you know, move around where on the field the pass is going to go, has been in the game for 15 years. They just made it a visual trait and slapped a sticker and a name on it called Field Sense and said, here you go, suckers, enjoy your new game, pay $75. And I say that as somebody who paid $100 for the pre-order, the deluxe edition.
Well, again, I think you said that there's nothing derogatory in that. It's just, you know, it's just if you're not hardcore into it, you would have no idea.
But you know what? This is what irritates me, and why I say Electronic Arts, is that is not a new feature.
No, it's not.
You should not be able to high step around talking about how you've been working on a game for a year, and this is your crowning achievement. I mean, from the original announcement of the game, Field Sense was the number one, and it had my attention. You know, the hardcore gaming community, the hardcore Madden community, you know, the connected, I'm in some, you know, big time connected franchise leagues, and we were like, okay, let's see it. And then the beta came out and we all played it and we were like, this is the same crap. We can just see it now. So I know a lot who have actually just turned off the visual because they're like, it's the same thing.
It's almost just overload, yeah.
It's just showing me, and I don't need this on the screen, so I turned it off. I have it on the medium setting because it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, so my beef is the fact that they marketed this thing as a new feature. But I like the fact that it's in the game because it helps somebody who's just picking up the sticks for the first time since, you know, Madden 15 to be able to be a little bit better at the game. You know, like Rusty, with how often you play Madden, if we played against each other, it probably wouldn't be very close.
You're right.
But
you're right.
It's going to make you a more competent Madden player
yeah.
to have that boost of confidence to see where your pass is going to go. So even though you could do that before, now you have that kind of bonus sight, and it'll help you out. So I like the fact that they put it in the game. I resent the fact that they marketed it as this big fancy new feature when they spent 365 days really changing nothing.
Yeah.
Feature-wise and gameplay-wise, the only thing they added into the game was that little bonus and a bunch of new catching and tackling animations. Like, there's like 3 new things in the game over a 365-day period. That's my beef with the game more than anything. But, you know, Field Sense, it was a marketing ploy, and I think it probably worked and got some new people in, but it's not new, and that's a little bit frustrating for me.
I just want to clarify what Noah said. If me and him were to play, it would be 70-0. He'd whip my ass. So let's go ahead and just make that real clear.
Instead of you,
like it would be pretty bad. But I mean, this isn't the first time that EA has kind of done stuff that's coming. EA's always had a history with microtransactions, and that's another.
Yep.
That's another gray area in gaming that it's turned into what some people believe is a necessary evil, and. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that 100%. I don't know if I disagree with that 100%. But it is microtransactions, and this is a decent transition to Ultimate Team, is kind of the reason why I struggle to get into Ultimate Team a little bit, because it feels like if you don't pay a lot of money for your team, kind of just feels like, you're probably not going to be very good regardless of how many hours you spend on the game. Anybody, I guess, could be technically viable, but I don't know. I feel like for Ultimate Team, and Noah, I'll let you carry on from here. Thacker, you can follow up afterwards if you have anything to add. For me, I go into every Madden, I go into every 2K. If I buy NHL that year, I go into every NHL thinking, I really want to get into Ultimate Team this year, and then I play it for an hour, and I'm like, I don't have the expendable income like some people who are really, really into this do, and I don't manage my money good enough to have that expendable income to be able to, buy a ton of packs, get a ton of cards, just to, a ton of good cards to be competitive. And I don't have the time or the money to kind of invest in that. Noah, do you kind of feel like that's kind of the same? That's why a lot of new people don't necessarily get into Ultimate Team?
Absolutely. So up until Madden 19, I didn't touch Ultimate Team. Every time I was exclusively online head-to-head and connected franchise mode. Those were my connected. I've been leagues I've been in for a long time, 32 people. We build our teams. That's what we like to do. And I just would not touch Ultimate Team because every time I'd even open the mode, it was like looking at Chinese. I had no idea what I was looking at. And I think that's most people with Ultimate Team. So 2019, a guy or two guys wanted to play squads on Ultimate Team, which is you can go 3 people, you all control one player during the play, and you go against another set of 3 people. And I played that, and I was like, oh, this is fun. And I had to be the head coach because it takes your rosters if you're the offense or the defense, and my roster sucked, obviously, because I didn't play Ultimate Team. And they just started explaining to me some stuff. So EA Sports intentionally does not explain how you can get good at Ultimate Team without microtransactions, because obviously they have microtransactions. So I was intrigued by it that year. Last year, Madden 22 was the first year I ever really spent any time in Ultimate Team. And by the end of the season, I had a 97 overall Ultimate Team. Like, my Ultimate Team was stacked, and I understood it.
Who was your best player? I'm curious.
Julio Jones, 99 overall receiver. I had several 99 overall
receivers. That's crazy.
Without spending a dime on a microtransaction.
Okay, I was about to ask, like, how much did you spend on my Ultimate Team for that?
So the key to Ultimate Team is understanding how to team build, because kind of the conventional wisdom is you have to spend 80 hours doing challenges, or you just got to spend money. And there is some truth in the challenges part, no doubt. You can spend money and have a great Ultimate Team tomorrow, but you got to have to do the challenges. But the key, kind of the cogs of Ultimate Team of knowing how to get coins fast. Like, the challenges really don't give you coins fast, but playing head-to-head on Ultimate Team does. Yeah. Head-to-head seasons, I could get 100,000 coins in a couple of hours playing through a head-to-head season. And then I could use that to buy a player essentially, and this is going to be a quick crash course for those of you who don't want to spend a bunch of time playing Ultimate Team or spend any money. You go into the auction house and buy a player, and then the key is those power-up cards, which EA Sports... every player has a power-up card, and then you spend training points, which you get through selling cards to power up them, and then you can get 99 overall players. It is a little more, it's a time-consuming game mode, but last year was the first year I ever had an enjoyable time playing Ultimate Team, because I finally figured out how to do it without spending money, because I had zero interest in spending $100 on a game and then turning around and spending $100 on packs plus. And I thought, if that's your thing, more power to you. But I'm gonna wax you with my team that I didn't spend a dime on. So I have a love-hate relationship with Ultimate Team now. I think at its core, it's not terrible.
It's a great concept.
But the way EA Sports puts it out there, kind of like they did with Field Sense, right? Like I was talking about with that. I resent the way they put it out there. As opposed to, hey, this is really how, instead of just being vague, like, oh, do challenges and get coins, or hint, hint, buy these tickets and you can have a great Ultimate Team. If they would explain in the introduction, this is how you power up a player. This is how you get coins fast. Play your head-to-head seasons. Start early in the Madden year, because right now the highest overall player in Ultimate Team is 89 overall. That's something a lot of people don't know. There won't be a 99 overall Ultimate Team player until probably November. So you have time, if you're playing Madden now, to develop your Ultimate Team to be able to be competitive. I don't hate, the ins and outs of Ultimate Team, but I hate the way they present it. And I think the way they present it turns off a lot of people, like probably you guys, who don't feel the need to spend extra money or spend 20 hours a day grinding through these ridiculous challenges. So it's a love-hate relationship, just like it is with most of the game. But I'm now pro-Ultimate Team, anti-Ultimate Team marketing, I think is the best way to put it.
That's fair. Honestly, I think I opened up Ultimate Team once or twice, just because like the pre-order bonus for GameStop was, of course, you get some packs and everything, and I was like, you know what, let me just see what I get. Uh, I could not tell you anything of what I got or anyone or anything that even made sense to me on it. But I was like, you know what? This is a cool feature for those who like it. In fact, when I opened it up, Rusty and I were in a party and I was like, Rusty, what exactly am I looking at? And sure enough, he was like, honestly, this is the Madden's version of heavy microtransactions. Like,
Yep.
oh, so this is where I don't need to be for gambling and everything. Gotcha. Let me leave now.
Right. Absolutely.
Well,
so it
yeah,
was one of those where I opened it up. I at least played around with it a little bit. Didn't do anything to where I was like, hey, go buy these packs. Hey, go do this. It was just, okay, let's just open up what I have just to see, and let's just mess around with this a little bit. And then after I got done with that, I went to franchise mode.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I will say, this is the deal with Ultimate Team, is it is EA Sports baby.
It is.
It makes them the most money because people get their credit cards and they can't help themselves. It is their baby. So the one good thing is if you do get into Ultimate Team, it's the one place on Madden where you feel like they're actually trying here, right? There's constantly new cards. There's constantly evolutions of how they go about things, but there are so many ins and outs that it takes a long time to learn how to master it. And I think most people are turned off by that. And eventually they say, forget this, I'm going to play franchise, which EA Sports, and I hate this because I'm a franchise guy, EA Sports could not care less about franchise because they make no money on connected franchise of any kind once the season starts. So Ultimate Team has the potential. They care the most about it. So there is a ton of ins and outs going on inside of Ultimate Team, but the learning process is a very, very long time. And I kind of liken it to, I'm a first-person shooter and sports games guy. Mm-hmm. I can't do the World of Warcrafts of the world, those types of games.
I feel that.
That hurts me a little bit because
it's just
not a WoW patch on my backpack now.
Well, I don't have any hate towards it, but I just feel like when I turn that on, I'm in a world that I cannot keep up with. There's just so many things happening at once and so much jargon that's happening, right? So many different that I don't understand as a casual player. I'm like, forget this. I'm going to go play Madden because my simple brain can understand it. I think that's what most people think when they open up Ultimate Team on Madden.
It's all about what makes sense to you, yeah.
Honestly, like, I feel like for EA, my Ultimate Team is the virtual currency, the VC that NBA is. It's that microtransaction that is EA's baby. Like you said, Noah, it's something that EA relies on those two aspects the most for their games because it helps so much. It's one of those business aspects that they both bring in quite a bit because both 2K and Madden are such evergreen games that the sales alone speak for it. But when you start adding in my Ultimate Team and the VC for my career in 2K, it brings in so much more for them that they're going to add more to that than they will the base game itself.
Yeah. Well, and look, as much as people complain, and I was really proud the franchise community came together last year, and we were like, because they did nothing in franchise, and they did make some tweaks, and we can talk about that. But we were like, this is the last year we're ever going to buy Madden if you guys don't do something. And so they've done the last 2 years this big shift towards that. But EA Sports made more money on Madden last year than any year in history, and a lot of people thought it was the worst Madden in history. So as long as Ultimate Team is driving that, which it is, they're cool. They're going to keep on just, focus on Ultimate Team. Who cares about the other stuff? Because ultimately, that's what the money talks. And so for as much as people are mad on Twitter and are mad in the Madden community about various things in the game and not changing, they're making as much money as they can. So as you said, it's an evergreen game. They're going to keep kind of putting all their time and money right back into Ultimate Team.
I think that the big obvious, the glowing sign that Ultimate Team is obviously EA's baby is that's not just a Madden issue. That's an issue across FIFA. That's an issue in NHL. Like, it's an issue in all of EA's sports games. And I'll give you an example.
I just want to know what we're going to do when FIFA's no longer FIFA. Because,
it'll be the same.
This is the
It'll
last
be the
year
same
that it's
every
gonna be
year.
called FIFA.
I mean, it'll still
It'll
be
be
the
the
same
exact
game.
same.
But
Yeah.
I'll give you an interesting story now. So the only game that I've ever put any Ultimate Team time in on was NHL 19, and you might remember that one because that was the one that PK Subban was on the cover
Yeah.
of.
Oh yeah.
And
I
that
remember that. You whooped my ass a couple times in that one.
well, to be fair, you've never played it, and I had played it quite a bit leading up to that point. I haven't
True,
played it in
but
a while. You'd
I
probably run me in it now, but I
But here's the thing,
spent
like I found a game that I actually enjoyed that was a sports game that wasn't your big 3 games being
FIFA,
Madden,
2K,
and
Madden.
FIFA.
Well, I'll tell you this: my parents would shudder if they hear this to know how much money I spent on the Ultimate Team because I probably spent about $500 at least on NHL. Yeah, I spent a lot of money on that. That was when, hey, to be fair, that was when I was working at Domino's, man, and the money was flowing. Didn't have hardly any bills. I loved it. Life was good back in 2018.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Life was good back in 2018. It's a lot harder being an adult now, but
He says to his boss. just, ladies and gentlemen, he says to his boss. Just to throw that one out there.
I love my job. I'm going to make that very clear. I love my job. My job has never been about the money, so leave me alone. But
I can confirm he has actually said that before, that he enjoys his job.
So
Sure.
I enjoy it a lot more than the last
Damage
stop,
control.
if you know what I mean. So,
Well,
but
thanks.
but making that transition to franchise mode. So obviously, no, you spend a lot of time, especially in the competitive aspects of franchise mode, connected franchise. So is that what you were playing before you got on here? That's what you were playing, right? Connected franchise.
No, I was playing an online head-to-head. They just dropped one update. The hope is they drop one more before they get started, because a lot of times some of these updates won't impact already created franchises. And since we start them now and go all the way until next August, you got to make sure that the big stuff is fixed. But yeah, this is my thing. Connected franchises has been my thing for over a decade.
So why that game mode? Why does that draw you in? What is it about that?
There's a few things. Obviously, I'm super competitive. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
And so the connected aspect of you're playing 32 other dudes, week in and week out. But also the building aspect, right? I'm a football guy. You know that as well. You have your team and you run, and I play in both regular and fantasy leagues. I typically gravitate towards a fantasy league because then you get to draft your guys from the jump. And that is your team from September 1st to August of next year, and you get 10 seasons in. And once you're 3 years in, you've done free agency, drafted, trades, all of that to build your team the way you like it. To me, it's just the most powerful thing you can have in a sports video game. You're in complete control in connected franchise mode. You have your squad, you do what you want with them, you build them the way you want, and then ultimately you take that team out and play against another person as opposed to the computer, which I don't mind. I've been playing a couple of computer franchises just to get a feel for the development and the features and stuff, but I just have gravitated towards it. It's fun to talk crap in the you talk crap in your group chats and all that on Discord and Facebook group, and so and I win a lot, so I don't mind doing that either. It's fun to win over 32 other dudes or 31 other guys and have them be super mad about it. So I enjoy that too.
I love it.
That's crazy. Going against 32 other guys is crazy, especially when you take into consideration what all franchise mode is. That just blows my mind. And again, it's probably because you have the years of experience on Madden that Rusty and I probably don't.
Facts.
But with that, just franchise mode alone, for somebody who really didn't play much Madden. In fact, in my house, we played a lot of the FIFA and the MLB over Madden and 2K. Mm-hmm. Why? Because, growing up, dad was a soccer coach and brother played baseball.
Well, you refed some soccer too, didn't you? Because I feel like you've told me that before.
Yeah, I refereed soccer as well. In fact, that was my first job at age 11.
Wow.
Refereeing 6 and 8 year olds. Dude, a lot of fun, easy money, loved it. But at the same time, I loved those 2 games, and those are the only sports style games I ever played. So jumping into franchise mode on Madden 23, and of course, I'm probably going to get some sort of hoe in here, but I'm an Eagles fan, okay? So
You shouldn't have told Noah that.
Hey, you've won a Super Bowl since I have, so congratulations.
Noah, who's your team?
The Tennessee Titans, through and through.
You know what? Hey, it's that dedication. I give you guys that. It's one reason why I'm still a fucking Phillies fan, even though our coach kind of.
No, that one you're gonna get. Yeah, no, I'm a Braves fan, so you can hear it about the Phillies. Yeah, enjoy that one. Sorry, World Series since you have. Hey, sorry, had to get that one.
That's fine. But no, I'm a Eagles fan, so going through and actually being able to play with the current Phillies lineup was so much fun for me. Franchise mode.
The Eagles lineup, you mean?
Yeah, what did I say?
The Phillies.
We got them backwards. You're good.
It's all good, bro. We know what you mean.
As Rusty always says on the podcast,
close enough.
But not I enjoy the Eagles, so being able to jump into franchise mode and actually being able to start my own season with it, I really enjoyed it. And in fact, I think I had a couple preseason games that Rusty kind of watched me struggle with because it was 1 a.m. And as Rusty said, you don't really want to be playing Madden at 1 a.m. because that's when your anger really hits.
That's when it hits for me.
That's when you're playing me, the degenerates who stay up all night playing Madden and go to work the next day.
Yeah. How does Madison let you get away with that?
Hey, you know what? She's a wonderful woman.
That is
all
true.
I can tell you.
That's a good thing.
My wife is a wonderful woman.
That's a good thing.
That's a great answer. I loved that answer.
You know what's funny though on this line, Thacker, talking about franchise. I love that you said that. The problem with franchise is if you would have played Madden 17, you would have the same franchise experience that you're having in Madden 23. It's a good mode, but it's so outdated and so in need of an update that, but you know what? EA Sports knows that, and they know that dumb people like me are going to buy the game to play the same franchise. Now, they added a better scouting system a year ago. Round of applause for them. But the casual fan who buys one maybe every 3 or 4 years is going to buy it and go, holy crap, this is a dope franchise mode. So it kind of shows the disconnect between the diehard fan and the casual fan. But EA Sports cares more about that casual fan because you're the one who's giving them that extra money every year. Whereas, except for that one time last year where we said fix connected franchise mode, they know we're going to give them our money anyway.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, Noah, then I'll let you tell me this. What's the most positive thing you can say about this game? Because I feel like it's important to mention that I don't think that we all hate this game. I think that it's just the reaction to this would be, it's just Madden. I mean,
it's Madden.
It's Madden. It kind of just is what it is. It's not really. I'm not looking for a game of the year contender when I play Madden. I'm not looking for the worst game of all time when I play Madden. I'm just looking for a football simulation style game. That's kind of all it is. What's the most positive thing you can say about this game?
The best thing they did in this game is now so far, we're recording it August 31st, right? So far, the near total elimination of the one play touchdown is beautiful. This year, more than any year so far from the jump, you need skill to win a game. The cheese plays, the things that, I talk about sometimes when I'm streaming, I can run PA boot over, roll out to the right side, stand there, and know the computer, because it's an animation-based game, is not going to cover the deep post, throw it deep, and score a touchdown. And unless you play Madden like I do, you're going to have no idea how to stop it. And even if you play like I do, you still sometimes won't be able to stop it. They have done a great job of, quite frankly, making the defense overpowered in the game to eliminate that one play touchdown. To score, now you can't break a long run, right? You not to say that you can't make somebody miss in the open field and go score, but the elimination of most of the cheese plays is by a country mile the best thing in this game. To score, you're going to have to make a 10-play drive, right? And so, you've watched today, Rusty, the guy I played, right? I went down and made 2 10-play drives. I made one stupid throw and threw a pick 6, but it was 17-7. I beat a good user in a championship game of a tournament, but he was able to sustain 10-play drives down the field because, and I don't, you call me an expert, so it can be bragging anyway, I'm a better Madden player than him.
Yeah.
And a year ago, that guy may have beaten me because he knew he had cheese that I didn't have, or he was getting glitches that I wasn't getting. This year so far, with maybe one exception, I probably have won 50 games and lost 6 or 7 across all the modes. All those games with one exception, I feel like I either won because I was better or I lost because I was not as good as the guy I was playing. And that is a beautiful thing in the video game.
That's interesting how you bring up like the online play with it, because for one, I haven't experienced much of the online play.
Right.
I haven't taken the challenge of playing Rusty.
I'm not good. Don't worry.
Rusty, I saw you play against computer and
that was on Rookie.
okay. So,
that was on Rookie. Don't put me up on some pedestal. I'm not good.
well, hey, you know what? Here's the thing, though. Wasn't it you who explained how to do a not even a field goal kick, but just kicking in general to me? Because my slow ass brain was like, oh, I have to get it at that bar each time that the meter goes, not knowing that no, you got to get it to there once and then get it back to like the starting position to actually kick a good kick. No, so every time Rusty saw me like in the beginning before he explained it, this ball would just go straight out of bounds, straight to the right, straight to the left. Like there was no accurate. Like I think I got maybe 5 yards down the field after every kick before Rusty actually explained it. So of course it put a lot of like intimidation of like, do I really want to go online and play against like Rusty or Noah or Kyle or anyone?
I would love for you to go online so I can play you. I think do it in MUT or online head to head. Just hey, it'll be good. You should try.
Honestly, I might just do online just to give you that ego boost. If you have,
he don't need that.
Because I promise you, Noah, you'll that 84-0 that I mentioned that Rusty did. You'd be playing against like rookie to the 4th degree.
You talk about ego boost. Look, and whatever you can call it bragging. I don't care. I think I've told Rusty this. It's the only video game I say this about. But I'm not the best Madden player in the world. But no one's smacking me.
And I agree.
I will put up my skills against any person, any big-time Madden gamer on this planet. Not to say that I'm the best, because I'm not the best Madden player in the world, but nobody's running me off the field. So I wouldn't do that to you.
What I'm hearing is Noah needs to drop his player tag so he can get some challenges coming.
People can find me on Players Lounge any day of the week if they want to see me for some actual cash. They can come see me over there.
Oh my god! All right, well, to close this out, because I'm starting to get worried that Thacker's going to end up talking. He's going to start trying to talk me into playing Noah, and I'm not doing that. I don't want that embarrassment.
I'll take Noah on before you. Don't worry.
I don't need Noah to be able to hold that over me. I don't need that in my life. So, Noah, we've mentioned a couple times. You obviously do a little bit of streaming. I know you've done in the past. You've also done Apex and Fortnite. Am I right or no?
Yes, that's correct.
So you've also done that. So talk about where people can find you and what they need to search for to find your streams.
Well, if I'd ever get back to streaming consistently, it would be Identity116 on Twitch. Identity116 on Twitch. I have an Instagram account and a Twitter account that I have not updated in a while. I got the whole setup, though. I promise, get it geared up here soon. We're in the middle of high school football season, and as Rusty can tell you, it's a little busy around these parts.
We're busy.
But Identity116 on Twitch. You can follow. If you want to just sub to be nice to me, go ahead. Feel free. I won't tell you no. But I usually stream Madden, but I do some Fortnite. When the new Call of Duty comes out, I guarantee I'll be streaming some of that. That's really my second game is any Call of Duties. Fortnite, used to play that religiously, still play it sometimes. So you follow me there on Twitch, Identity116. I appreciate it.
So I have to ask, Noah, is there any other game that's coming out this year that you're looking at potentially just trying that might be not in your comfort zone, or is that you're just kind of just sticking to what you're playing now?
Quite frankly, and Rusty, you know this, just with how busy I am with work and stuff.
Well, yeah, of course.
I have not ventured out of my gaming comfort zone probably since COVID. In the middle of 2020, I was doing everything. But I will. The only other video game that I will probably put any money into purchasing this year is the new Call of Duty,
which is fair.
When it drops. I'm happy to take recommendations. I'll try a game, but I always feel like if I get a new game, I want to be able to spend a lot of time in it. And whenever I get a new game that's not, one of the show, Madden or 2K or COD, I feel like I could be playing those games instead. So probably will just be Call of Duty and Madden for the rest of the year for the most part for me.
Well, Noah, if you ever find yourself in Memphis, come see me at GameStop. I'm gonna sure you get that nice, pretty steel book with the Call of Duty.
Yeah, I like that.
And I might even throw in like a double-sided poster for you too, my man. Like
I appreciate it. Well, you know what? You put in an idea. You're talking about the 2K covers for Rusty. I'm looking at my office and the blank walls that I got in here and thinking, get every Madden cover since 2005, frame that sucker, put it up on the wall. That could
would
be
be
interesting.
cool.
You may have put me onto a
little
hobby of mine.
I'll make you a deal. If you come and pre-order if you come pre-order Call of Duty with me, I have a Madden marketing thing that when it comes down, I'm gonna have to throw it away anyways.
I like that.
He just said it like he was going to throw it, like Noah giving it to Noah was like throwing it in the trash. Damn, Thacker.
It's okay. I've been called.
Well, I'm gonna have to throw it away. So I mean, I'd rather give it to somebody who's gonna appreciate it more.
That's fair.
I appreciate that. Yes, sir.
Back.
I appreciate that for sure.
Well, this has been a fun episode. I wasn't expecting the Madden episode to be one of the most fun of the year. Maybe we need to have Noah on more often, even if he's never played the game. Just have him sit in the back and just roast us.
I can talk with the best of them.
Just give me a microphone. On every sports episode. We'll do even better then.
I dig it. I
can handle the sports episodes. I can bring some stuff for that.
All right, so we'll see you again for
2K.
There we go. Sounds good.
Well, this has been our episode on Madden 23. He's been Noah McKay. You can find him on Twitter. He's got 2 separate accounts. Which one do you want me to plug, just so I don't plug the wrong one?
At Noah McKay UCR is at 896 followers. So y'all go ahead and hit follow on that. Let's get to 900 and 1,000.
Let's
please,
go.
And thank you.
Get the work account to 900. I agree. We need to get you to 1,000 and get you in the 1,000 gang. We definitely need to do that. So, Noah, appreciate you jumping on with us. For Noah, for Thacker, I'm Rusty. You can follow us on Twitter as well at Side Mission Pod. You can follow Thacker, Kyle, Matt, and myself as well. We're all different degrees of annoying, but this has been our Madden episode. Thanks for listening.